Locate and drill mounting holes. Begin with the concept mounting bracket and one of the purge tanks, as they need to be fit into place together on the roadside of the bus. Locate the vertical frame member adjacent to the airbag behind the roadside rear wheel well. Orient the concept mounting bracket along this vertical frame member and the bottom frame member as shown here. Ensure that the mounting holes are centered on each frame member. Before making the holes, hold a purge tank in place so that one of the purge tank mounting brackets sits within the notch of the concept mounting bracket as shown here. Now mark each concept bracket and purge tank mounting hole with a paint pen or marker. Check that each marked hole location is centered on the frame members. If any of them are off-center, place the bracket and purge tank and remark them. Note: it is important that each hole is properly centered in order to drill the 17/32 holes for each riv nut. Next, use a center punch at each marked location before drilling. It will be helpful to first drill each hole with a smaller 1/8 to 1/4 inch drill bit to begin with, and apply small amounts of cutting oil as needed. Finish each hole with a 17/32 drill bit, again using cutting oil as needed. Finally, use the riv nut tool to install 3/8 inch riv nuts into each hole. Ensure that each riv nut is properly seated and cannot spin before moving on to the next. Note: do not attach the concept mounting bracket and first purge tank to the frame members at this time. That will be completed later in this procedure after the concept are first attached to the bracket. Next, we will locate and drill the mounting holes for the GeminiMDx air dryer bracket. Place the air dryer mounting bracket against the large frame member where the previous air dryer was installed. Orient the bracket as shown here with the smaller mounting flange toward the bottom. Align this flange with the bottom edge of the bus frame member. Note: do not mount the air dryer too high, or it will make servicing the desiccant canisters difficult. Align the air dryer mounting bracket as indicated in order to maintain enough clearance above the air dryer once installed. Also ensure that the new bracket holes do not intersect with the holes from the previous air dryer installation. Mark each hole location with a paint pen or marker. Then, use a center punch at each marked location before drilling. It may be helpful to first drill each hole with a smaller 1/8 to 1/4 inch drill bit to begin with, and apply small amounts of cutting oil as needed. Finish each hole with a 3/8 inch drill bit, again using cutting oil as needed. Note: riv nuts are not required for the air dryer mounting bracket. The air dryer installation will continue later in this procedure after reinstalling the bracket onto the air dryer assembly. Lastly, we will drill holes and install riv nuts for the second purge tank. Locate the vertical frame member in the space adjacent to the airbag behind the curbside rear wheel well. Orient the purge tank so that each mounting hole bracket is centered on a bus frame member. As with the first purge tank, mark each hole location and then use a center punch before drilling. Begin drilling with a smaller 1/8 to 1/4 inch drill bit, and then finish each hole with a 17/32 inch drill bit, using cutting oil as needed. Lastly, install 3/8 inch riv nuts into each hole using the riv nut tool. Compact riv nut tools such as this one may make installation easier. The purge tank will be installed later in this procedure after installing the necessary fittings.